Hello. I thought maybe you'd like to see how I start out with a painting. Now, I purchased this canvas at Hobby Lobby, and I threw the papers away. It was 40 by 30 something. And it's does not have to be framed. It's about 2 inches thick. So you can just paint around the edges. As you paint, you can kind of go over the edges with it, or just paint the edges black. Either way, I think it looks better when you continue the painting around the edges. When you purchase this, it will be already gesso, which is this white stuff that goes over the canvas. The canvas is actually made out of like a duck, I guess they call it some kind of a duck material, like canvas, but it has to be covered with gesso. They do it by machine, but when you feel it, it feels kind of nubby, a little bit rough. So you need to get something like this with sandpaper on it, not too coarse, and lightly go over this and then feel it. You'll see a big difference. It's much smoother. But that's still not good enough. Now you need to get a jug of gesso. It doesn't have to be this big if you're doing a small painting, but sponge brushes. I might do, since this is so big, I'm thinking I'd use this bigger one. And you're going to cover this whole canvas with it, let it dry thoroughly, and then once again use your sandpaper. Make sure it's totally dry before you do that. Then again, put another coat of gesso and sandpaper again. It will feel so smooth, and your paint will stay on the surface rather than to kind of soak into the canvas. Seems like the canvas just wants to eat the color. It won't set on the surface. And that's what you want. You want the paint to show all the vibrant colors. Okay, next. Okay, honey, you can turn it off.
Out of the way, the mirror.
I used a big piece of glass that I had on an old table in the garage. And I'm using this for a palette. What I'm meaning, I'll be putting some of my paints, squirting them out on here, and using this to paint, because I plan on using some big brushes, you know, bigger ones like this, almost like you paint the house with, to begin with this painting. And it's just going to be a whole lot easier to do that on a big palette like this. Now, when you're through, if you're working with acrylics or with oils, either one, you'll need something to scrape it off with. I have a scraper here, an old beat up scraper. And you scrape the paint off and start again. Whenever, you know, whatever color you're going to go with again the next day. If you're doing acrylics, I saved, peanut butter pretzels. You know how I like those. Anyways, they're gone. And I saved that. I'm going to fill that with water to clean my brushes out. And this one for just clean water on the brushes. I've got all sizes of brushes here. You want to have a roll of towel. Now, I'm going to go out and get Viva paper towel, because this towel, actually, I got it on Amazon. It's bad. It's so thin. If you use something like this and you go to wipe your brushes off, the paint gets all over your hands. I'm going to use this. I haven't hardly used it at all, but I think it's called a wedge, and it's kind of soft. This is good for making all kind of marks in your canvas. This is just a very little bit. I've got so many of these palette knives, but I'm just going to have fun with it. And I use the bottom down here to put all kind of stuff in. A little hair dryer. It'll speed up the drying process. And I have gloves, plastic gloves down here too. And oh my goodness, I forgot what you call this. I always forget what you call this thing, but it's I'll demonstrate it later, so that you can put details in without getting your hand in the paint. Okay, I'll show in the next step in just a minute. See me applying the gesso. Just do it. Hope I didn't flip some. Pick out any little things that get on here. But if you go back and forth like this, it kind of gets it into the canvas. So, I mean, you don't have to do it like you're painting a house. Just In fact, it kind of just gives it a little texture, which is nice, but without all those bumps. So I'll continue doing this, let it dry, and then maybe you just wait till tomorrow and sand it, and then do one more coat. You might want to even do it over these edges too, since you're going to paint over it. Okay, that's it for right now.